if somebody's great for a speaker to come in and listen, right? Usually they come in and start talking to you. Mostly they come in and talk at you, and then they leave. Or maybe they'll stand around for a couple of questions, but I want to listen first, and you'll see why I want to listen later on. But before we get started, even before I start listening, I want to ask these remarkably elegant, gifted, ambitious ladies to come up front. So, like, because there's a lot of space up there, I'm feeling kind of lonely. So, if you all don't mind, I'm sure you are. There you go. Go for it. Okay, so one thing done. We got the ladies of Regal up front. Okay, and still didn't take these two seats, so don't worry, I'm not contagious, at least not usually. Okay, so, and then I'll take a seat, right, because I'm messing. But I want to know what you think people say about you. So we'll start there. And you can be totally honest with me. Has anybody seen me present before? Because I've been here before. Who's seen me present before? Nobody's seen me? At the debate. At the debate? Okay, yeah. I mean, well, I was doing the talking. No? Okay, so well, Jennifer will tell you, look, I'm open and I'm honest, so I know what people think about you or say about you before you start telling me. At least I have some sense of it, yes? So you can't, like, BS me, okay? So just put it out there. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the other word, but Jennifer told me to tone it down. Every time I do this is actually funny. Every time I do this, I talk to Jennifer beforehand to find out how far I can go with the audience. And with some audiences, she says to me, yeah, just do your thing, they'll be fine. With others, she says, oh yeah, you better tone it down. You are the ones about whom she said I should tone it down. So I'm toned right now. But if you want me to let loose, I'll let loose. So at any rate, don't be afraid to say exactly what you think. And don't be afraid to say it exactly in the way that you think it. Because right now I'm talking sort of proper, but I can go the other way if you need me to. If that'll help you bring it out. Okay? All right, so tell me what you think people say about you. And we'll narrow the conversation as we go. I'll sit and listen. And you can tell me your names too, since I don't know your names, as you start talking. Who wants to start us off? Where's the president of Regal?
She's not here.
Okay, vice president of Regal. You gotta start us off. You gotta lead the ladies. It's time to do it.
Okay, well, my name is Ariel.
Okay.
What do people say about me? That's the question.
Yes. Okay, what do people say about, not necessarily you in particular, but let's say what people say about black women. How about that? That's a broader question, yes?
That we have attitudes all the time.
Okay, you can
That's just because we don't take nobody's stuff.
She's pointing a finger at me too.
No, I'm counting.
If I get wrong, she ain't gonna take my stuff. Okay, go ahead. Who said that? They're what?
They're ratchet.
Raunchy.
Ratchet.
Ratchet. Yeah. I can't even know this one.
No, that's like another level of being
She said ratchet.
I can't keep up.
See, I only learn the words after they end up in a rap song. Right? I never heard that one in a rap song yet.
Yeah, females that are bougie, that think they're...
Oh, bougie. I like this word. Bougie. Okay, go ahead.
They think they're better than everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, some females that just... I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
Don't sugarcoat it.
They're whores. They want to sleep around with several different men. Yeah, some that...
She said she's not going to sugarcoat it.
That's good. Good. Keep going. Just honesty.
No sugarcoat. I can take it. Go ahead.
I'm saying...
Uh-oh. Go ahead. Anybody else want to jump in? So far we got... Yes? Someone else? Don't make me... Okay. I'm a college professor, and I will call on you. Right? So don't make me call on you.
They stereotype us.
Stereotype us? Yes.
African American females.
African American
Some people
females.
do.
Yeah.
some look down upon us.
Okay, yes.
I don't like that.
Don't like it, good.
No, I hate that.
Okay, with a passion, she says.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, some say that, you know, we're hardworking people
Okay.
or individuals or whatever.
Okay.
You know, some got our heads on correctly, some will have help
Okay,
with that. So,
Okay.
I mean,
all right, so far we have whores, attitude, ratchet, not sure what that means yet. And look down, talk down upon anybody else. Hard work, okay, so then in the other category we got hard working. But they might need some help with that. Successful. What else do we have? What else do we have, women? Come on, you all must have had this conversation before, at least among yourselves.
Independent,
Yes?
classy,
Independent and
classy.
independent and classy.
Sophisticated. Not
Can't
all.
handle it?
Not
Can't
all
handle
women are
independence?
classy.
No.
I'm not saying all women. I'm just saying some women
Some
are
of
classy.
them.
All right, what do you have for us? Yes, what's your name?
Kalila.
Kalila, what do you have for us?
I have what she was saying about independent. I mean, I think we hit everything, but
Okay, we get
I
up.
think it's more so independent when people see black women doing what they have to do, or maybe they're a single mom and they have their degree, they have, you know, things under their belt.
Sure.
They're independent at that time.
Okay.
They can do everything on their own. So I
Okay.
think that kind of wraps it up.
Okay, you think that wraps it up. What about people over here? What do we have? Yes, what's your name? Yes, you.
Okay, millennia.
Millennia. Okay, great. What do we have, Millennia?
I don't know.
Not sure.
I guess I have more Hispanic people. They said they were
Hispanic
loud.
people? I suspect that that what people say won't be that much different, but let's hear it.
They said they were loud.
Loud?
That, we talk a lot.
Talk a lot.
I don't know.
What else? What? Were you helping her out?
What else?
Yes?
I don't know. I mean, isn't that all bad? Dependable, responsible. They was
Dependable, responsible. Okay, so we have some stuff out on the table, yes? Tell me, so I'll give you the words you gave me. You give me an example of that person that's different from the first example. So you can't give me like one person for all of them, yes?
wait,
Okay.
I don't get it.
So, for example, I heard the word has an attitude. Give me an example of someone that you know that you think
In here?
represents that. No, It has to be somebody you think I know, right? Like somebody who represents. Yes, that'd be fine. Hey, not your friend. Okay, so go ahead. So I heard has an attitude. Who might you refer to as a person having an attitude?
It can be good or bad.
It could be anybody. Any person you know that's a woman that you think represents this. Your auntie. Okay, she has an attitude.
It can be good. Sometimes it can be bad. I'm not saying all attitudes are bad.
Sure.
Sometimes she's really agitated about things. You could say something to her wrong in an inappropriate tone.
Okay.
And she doesn't take it well. But sometimes you can talk to her as if like because she's a manager at a digital list for like housing.
Sure.
So when you talk to her, you need to talk to her with the proper respect that she would give.
Okay. All right. And okay, so we have an aunt. And what about? I heard the word whore. You said it. Who do we have here?
Here.
No. Not here in this room. Right? I mean, generally speaking, somebody you know who you think I might know or we can at least relate to, generally.
Oh, you
Right, because come on, like, I can give you 1,000 people who I know that you've heard this about. Yes.
Say about him.
I was going to say,
Okay, Kim Kardashian, yes?
Oh, yes.
Right? She says yes, confirmation. Okay. Right? So we've heard about Kim Kardashian, yes? Right? Yeah? You think that's a good one? Okay, great. And I also heard talk down to, right? So let's at least call that like condescension. Right? So who do you think is either condescending or condescending to a lot? I'm sorry? Oh, I think that's a good one. Did you say Rihanna?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rihanna's a good one for this. Okay. What else did you all tell me? Successful. Who would you say? Oprah Winfrey. Successful. Oprah Winfrey.
Money, right?
Yeah, she has money, but not necessarily successful. Okay.
She got her own network.
She said she had money.
School in Africa.
Okay, so let's take Oprah. I'll buy Oprah. Oprah is successful. What else do we have? Independent. Who would you say?
I was just getting to say Where's CC
You want to insert yourself?
Where's CC? She's not here?
Okay, so we'll take it. What's your name? Shamira. Okay, so Shamira will stand there for independent. And what else did we have? What else did I hear? I heard the word ratchet. Okay, so you might explain that as you're explaining the
It's
person.
another, like she said in the back, she was like, it's another level of being ghetto, pretty much.
Okay,
It's
all right.
just like
higher.
over being ghetto.
Okay. Oh, it's like above. It's like worse than that. I'm not sure if you should put it above or below. Okay. All right. So, give me an example of such a person. Without referring to your friends. Give me an example. Somebody on TV. Somebody. Yeah.
Shanae. There you go.
Shanae. Okay, Shanae. From Martin. Yes. Yes, I know she. Okay, give us a real person.
Yeah.
Like, who's Shanae? All right, give us a real person.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki? Oh, Nicki. Okay. Nicki
She's
Minaj.
ratchet.
Different.
There's nothing classy about it.
Actually,
Okay.
she's not ratchet. She's different. Yeah, she's different. Ratchet. She's not. I don't feel like she's.
Well, look, ratchet is ratchet in the dictionary. So we got to give it a little bit of wiggle room. Might apply, might not apply. Does anybody even know how to spell it? So I'm telling you why I was talking, like why I said it. I was talking to a friend who was a younger friend, and he said something about guac. And so I said, all right, so not guac, guac. Okay, remember that I am attempting to pronounce a word that doesn't exist. So, you get a little bit of space. And so I said, okay, spell it. And he gave me something that looked like Japanese. And so I said, okay, well, it's likely to be spelled this way. And then we got into this conversation, and I said at the end, well, okay, we're talking about a word that doesn't exist, you know. So, you know, all bets are off. We really can't fight about how it should be spelled or when it should apply. And I think ratchet might fall into this category. So let's give a little bit of wiggle room, and we'll throw Nicki Minaj in, because I suspect she might be happy to find out she made it. She's in, right? They say, you know, there's no bad publicity, yes? Okay, so she's in the group. So we got Nicki Minaj's ratchet. Okay, so now we know what people say about women, and we were talking specifically about African American women and Hispanic women. We can go into European American women if that's what you want to do, or Asian American women, because we're going to have to narrow the conversation anyway. So I want to raise the question now, a second one. Then what do people say about you? And since we had some people who talked a lot, let me go into professorial mode. Since we had people who talked a lot, I'm thinking on those of you who haven't talked. Now I'm looking all like, you know something, right? Right? I mean, you know, I do that sometimes. I go from like some cat sitting down talking to like Dr. Smaw. All right, just like I'm like Superman, right? I might come out of that, right? Okay, so what do people say about you? Yes, what's your name?
Tien.
Sorry?
Tien.
Tien? Tien. Okay, Tien. So what do people say about you?
Because I don't really pay attention to what people. I try my best not to care about it.
So you don't know?
It's not that I don't know, but I just.
Okay, so tell us what you've heard they've said about you. It can be bad or good, right? Don't worry, we won't judge you. Because I'll tell you what people say about me if you like. It's what Jennifer is saying. Okay, she'll think about it. She'll think about which of the things people have said about her she wants us to know. Yes, what's your name? Yes.
I'm Stephanie.
Stephanie, tell us. What do people say about Stephanie?
They say I'm quiet.
Quiet. Okay. All right, yes. What's your name?
Alexandra.
Alexandra. Yes.
I'm quiet when you, like, before you meet them, you have to, like, get to know me.
Okay, so you're quiet, and then what?
And then.
Right? There you go. She's quiet, but once you get to know her.
Tell them. I don't know. Tell them. She's a cool person.
She's quiet and cool.
Yeah, when she didn't know her, she's not quiet no more though.
Okay, so she plays like she's quiet until you get to know her. Okay, I'll go for that. And what do people say about you? Sorry, what's your name?
Roberta.
Roberta. Roberta? Why is that funny?
They probably think it's funny because I'm one of the teachers and they think that you don't know that. But it's okay. I can still participate. I can't participate because I work here.
And we were talking about black women, yes?
Pretty much.
You're in the
And
category?
I am in the category.
Okay, so then people say things about you.
Oh, they say all kinds of things about me.
Okay, let's hear it. Don't hold back.
I'm a nerd.
You're a nerd?
Some people say I'm nice, but then some people say I have an attitude.
Uh-oh, we got an attitude going.
Yeah, I have an attitude, and that's fine. Sometimes people say I'm quiet, and then other people that know me think that that is not the case at all. So it just depends, kind of like Alexander. Depends on whether you know me or not.
Okay.
Those are the main ones.
Okay, those are the main ones. All right, let's come back over. Oh, Jennifer, you want to hear Jennifer? Jennifer?
Yeah.
And you know I know, Jen, so don't be quiet. What do they say?
People think I'm brilliant. I'm amazing. No, I think it's the same thing. Like, people think I'm quiet, and then when they talk to me, they realize, like, I'm not. And that I have this kind of, like, weird sense of humor. Or I'm being mean, but I don't mean to be mean.
Uh-oh.
So.
Sarcastic.
Oh,
yes. I'm sarcastic. I live that one off.
What's your name?
Tanya.
Tanya, let's hear it. What do people say about you?
I'm introverted, like I'm really introverted.
Okay,
Whether
good.
you know me or not, I stay in my own bubble.
You stay in your own bubble.
Yeah.
Anything else?
People get on my bad side.
Coming out.
You can ask Deidre. I jump down people. I will jump down your throat. Like,
Okay.
Okay. And I'm a nice person. That's about it.
And you're a nice person.
Yes,
That's about
I
it.
am.
Yes.
You know my name?
Yes.
My name is
Unless you want me to guess.
my name is Looney. Looney.
Looney.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a nickname or your real name? This is a real name.
It's a real name.
Okay, it's the first time I've heard it.
It's okay.
Okay.
I guess I'm quiet at first, but then I'm loud once you get to know me.
Loud once you get to know you. Okay.
Crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy like as in fun or crazy as in Steve-O?
I do both. Yeah.
Okay. Are you texting in my class? Oh, okay. Jen, what is this? Okay, so now you have to tell us what people say about you. What's your name?
Nikki.
We know at least one thing they say about you, Nikki. So tell us the others.
They say I'm bipolar.
Bipolar? Why do they say that?
I don't know.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm funny, cool,
Funny, cool.
demanding.
Okay.
What else? It's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, does anybody else want to jump in before we move on? We're good? Everybody's good? Yes? You look like you want to tell us some things.
Good
You really look like you want to tell us some
Good
things.
job.
So what's your name?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Okay, so what do people say about you?
I'm nice. I'm loyal. I give good advice.
Okay. Okay, that's it? That's it?
No.
Okay, so I've talked to women about this before, young women about this sort of thing before, and the conversation always goes the same way. What I find interesting about the conversation is this. So, well, initially, it's a little bit reserved, right? So nobody wants to come out and say, okay, this is what they say about black women, except for, sorry, what's your name? Deidre was like, I know right? Deidre, I'm playing. So usually the conversation is a little bit reserved, and then when we get down to, well, what do people say about you, it's even more reserved. So, for example, when we finally got Deidre to break the ice for us, then we heard some things that nobody wants to hear about themselves, yes? Like whore and ratchet, I guess. Right? Something like Nicki Minaj. Right? That is ratchet. Okay. But then when I say, okay, so then tell me specifically, what have you heard about yourself? It's almost always, I'd say at least 90 to 95% positive things. Yes? Okay, so what does that tell me? That tells me something. What it tells me is that you're actually filtering a conversation that you heard about you to me. Does everybody see that? Right? Because look, if you recognize that about African American women or Hispanic American women or Asian American women, generally speaking, you gave me way more negative things than you did positive things. Yes? And the initial conversation was almost all negative. Yes? And if you fall in those categories, then what makes you think people aren't saying the same things about you? Yes? But remember, I'm a philosopher, so you can expect this sort of thing. Does everybody see what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. Right. And the reason why I'm pointing this out to you will come in a couple of minutes. But before I do that, before I tell you why I'm pointing, okay, you go on in, join us. Join us.
You should ask her.
I should. Shouldn't I? Should I ask her?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we know at least one thing people are going to say, well, she came in late.
No, she was here before.
Okay, she's always on time. All right. Tell us your name.
Cece.
Cece?
Oh, no, Cece.
Cece. Okay, does Cece stand for something or?
You really want to know what it stands for?
I do.
My middle name.
What's your middle name?
Cece.
Don't say Cece. Is that your middle name?
No.
Oh, what is it? I'm sorry?
Cree Chanel.
Cree Chanel. That's a good middle name.
I always thought it was for Jacoria.
I thought it was for
Y'all know that, but
Right. So that's an alias, just in case the FBI asks. Go with Cece. Okay, so Cece, what do people say about you?
my hair cute.
I'm sorry? Your hair is cute. Is that okay? They used to say that about me? I say used to. Okay, so go ahead. Your hair is cute. Anything else they say?
She's really dedicated.
Okay.
She's nice. She's
Nice.
crazy.
Crazy good, crazy bad.
Crazy good.
Obviously.
Crazy bad if I'm mad, but you know.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I pointed that out, that distinction out to you, is because of something I'm going to say in a moment. But before I say that, I want to put Jennifer on the spot for a second to see. Always put Jennifer on the spot for a second to see what she said to you. So she told you that I was coming here today. Yes.
Yes.
What did she say after that?
Dress womanly.
Dress
What is
womanly.
that supposed to
It was an email from
That's what you said.
Jennifer hasn't listened to you that much. She just interpreted it, whatever I say, however she wants it to be.
Oh.
Dress womanly. Okay, so
Yeah.
what did you take that to mean?
I mean, I kind of felt offended because I feel like I always dress womanly. What is womanly to you?
Ew, Jennifer?
I put in there dress womanly, whatever your interpretation of that was.
Okay.
And I put that in parentheses, whatever your interpretation
Whatever your
of that was.
interpretation was. Okay, I'll tell you what I said and what the interpretation was in a moment. Anybody else? When did you take that phrase, dress womanly to mean?
Professional.
Who said that? Yes. Professional? Okay. You did what? Co-sign. To what she said. Okay, yes?
Yeah.
Pussy for anything. Sweatpants, jacket, just show up, ready to go, right? Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
You were thinking what?
A skirt.
A skirt? Okay. You like that?
Because I don't own any clothes, so I co-sign for her buying what she is.
That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Normally to me.
I saw that. Okay, so what's your name? Yes.
Noelle.
Noah.
Noelle.
Noelle. What did you take it to? Jennifer's email.
Business casual.
Business casual. Okay, that's what you took it to me too? Yes.
Yeah.
You feel?
All business casual. I see it. All business
I
casual.
thought it was presentable.
You thought presentable? Okay.
Yeah,
Presentable.
I mentioned that.
Okay. So this is what I said. And this is sort of like that whisper game when you're little. You start off with one person, you tell them something, and it goes around the room. And by the time you get to the in person, it's completely different. With Jennifer and I, it's like that, but it's just two people. So I said, Jennifer, tell them to dress professional. And then they go into an interview. Jennifer said, okay, I'll tell them to dress womanly, whatever that means to you. But it's good. It's good.
I don't want to sit here and have a debate about it. I will defend myself, but not at this time. Go ahead and make your point, sir. That's not how the conversation. That's not how I remember the conversation.
It didn't sound like that to you.
That's not what you said. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm not trying to call you out right now.
And she couldn't hear it because the phone, you know. Okay, so at any rate, so the professional thing, womanly thing, because you all interpreted different messages, we'll have to sort of skip that portion, but I'll indicate to you some of the things that I was going to say, and then I'll go back to like the filtering what you hear people say about me. Okay, so for example, would you say I'm dressed for the business world? Who would say yes to that?
I can see your shoes.
Give me a second. I told you I'm like, nah, shoes. We want to see some shoes.
Shoes and business socks.
Okay, definitely. Okay, so who says yes? Business?
Yes.
Yes? Who says no? Yes?
I say no.
Why not?
It depends on what aspect
Corporate
of the
world.
business world. Your tie.
Oh, you don't like this? See, I wore the tie. Somebody tell me why.
I like your tie.
Somebody tell me why I wore this
Because you're
tie.
with women.
Because I'm with women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I'm supporting, you know, women's movement, cancer treatment, healthcare for women, right? And all of that sort of thing. This is true. That's exactly why I wore the tie. And I'm not afraid to express my softer side, if you will. It's just, yeah, I know, it brings a tear out. Okay, actually, no, I'm not dressed for the business world, not for the corporate world. One, the suit doesn't work for the corporate world. In the corporate world, the suit should either be gray, blue, or black. And it should always be an executive suit. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this in a second. And your shoes, actually no, the shoes do work for the corporate world, because they're corporate shoes. And the socks do too. But I was gonna wear some other shoes, but I didn't want to feel like it. I like these shoes better because they kind of pretty high, so I had to wear those. All right, at any rate. But I talked to my students, in particular the debate team. For those of you who saw the debate, right? They were dressed like a debate team, but again, not for the business world. They were dressed for a debating society. And here, I'm not dressed for the business world. I wouldn't go into a corporate meeting like this. Okay. And then for you, what I would have said, if Jennifer got the message right, I would have sort of looked at some of the things that you were wearing and just indicated things to you. So, in the business world, this is what you want to shoot for. Always conservative. always. No hoops, no dangling stuff, certainly if it clangs, right? And your earrings should be very small, right? I should be able to see them but not hear them, right? Your makeup, modest, very modest, right? I should know that you are made up, but it shouldn't be obvious to me how, right? So in other words, I shouldn't be able to tell the difference between your, I guess, foundation and mascara.
No, that's right. You got that.
This is where I know this sort of thing. It should be, I should know you're made up, but I shouldn't be able to tell how. And then your perfume. You've seen this one on TV, right? Where women do this sort of thing or that sort of thing. That is not how you put on perfume. It is not how you put it. I know you do it that way, but that is not how you also don't shower in it. You don't hook it up to your shower and stand under it. Right? No. You know? But I'll indicate to you how. Actually, what you do is spray it in the hair and walk out. Yes, because it will fall all over you, and the molecules won't break. When you spray it on your wrist and rub them together, you actually break the molecules. Yeah. And so it's either going to disappear or smell worse. Yes. Oh, yeah, so.
Are y'all taking notes?
Right? Shoes. This is the one that is the hardest for women to get. Shoes. Now, I will guarantee you that somebody here has one of those big ones. I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of thick in the front. They got like a heel.
No.
The heel's like serious.
Platform.
You can slap somebody with the heel. Rounded in the front. Oh, what I tell you? They are nice. They're nice. I'll admit that. They are nice. And they're a little fuzzy. I like this. Right? Sorry. They're nice.
It's okay, Jennifer. I got them on too.
She's like, I don't care business or not. I'm wearing mine.
And that's why I left administration. I wanted to wear mine.
Yeah. Don't wear them into the business world, ladies. Stilettos. Don't wear them into the business world. Yeah. Your heel should be about 2 inches. Yes. Okay. Now let me point out also, I should not be able to see your feet. No. Open toes? No. Straps? No. The little peep toe? No. Okay? All right, so let me see. Anything else you might need to know just up front? Those are just indications. Maybe I'll come back and do a presentation on business attire versus like business casual event versus social attire, that sort of thing. Because all of that means something, and it's crucially important that you get it right. And I'll tell you why in a second. Yes?
So flats are good for shoes?
Yes.
Flats are good. Yeah, flats will work.
So like a side one.
Even with Lego?
No. Those are like ballerina shoes. Okay?
No bow tie?
Bow tie for whom? Oh. Yeah, Oh, definitely, of course you know no flip-flops, right?
Oh,
I mean, I understand you're in Florida, but don't show up like you just got from the beach, right? Hair. Your hair should not cover your face, right? It should not cover your face. Okay? Yes, no, it should not. Okay, so why am I telling you all of this? Because the business world is this. Okay, in something like on a college campus, the idea is to be the alpha dog or something like that, right? Stand out. It's peacock world, yes? You walk down the campus, you got one person like all decked out, with, like, okay, look at me. And then you got the guys, and he's wearing his Nikes and baggies and all that type of stuff, right? Look at me. That's peacock world, yes? The business world is wolf pack world. Everybody follows in line, and there's one person you follow, and that is the highest ranking person in the room, right? So, for example, if you go out to dinner, if he does not take off his jacket, you do not take off yours. If you do, you will never make the executive, and they won't tell you. So the reason why I'm telling you all of this is because how far you go in the business world will depend on how you act around business people. And nobody will stop and tell you these things. They will assume that you already know. And if you don't know, let's assume you make mistakes, then they feel like you don't belong in their world because all the other business people know. And nobody's gonna stop and train you, right? You should already know this. And there are books written on this. There's seminars done on it all the time. Executives go to seminars all the time. In fact, I went to one called the Dale Carnegie course. And it was $700 per course. Right, like, so at one class was $700. But it's $700 well spent if you're looking to move up in the corporate. Okay? So, something as small as taking your jacket off when the highest ranking person in the room does not will mean that you won't make executive. You work there, but you won't make executive. And then I'll tell you this other story, then we'll move back on to why I said about people, what people say about you. So I was talking to this guy who works for, what's the military firm who contracts with the government?
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin. So he works for Lockheed Martin, and we were talking about this sort of thing. And Lockheed Martin went through a restructuring, and he's worried about how far he can go in Lockheed Martin. And so I said to him, have you ever been invited to a smoker? Does anybody know what a smoker is? Cigars is smoking. Okay, I mean like a corporate smoker, not like, you know, you all know, right? Not like that. Okay, all right. Nobody else? Oh yeah, actually, you're kind of right. What happens in a smoker is you'll get an invitation, and you'll go to an area of some room. It might be somewhere in business. Usually it's away. And you'll be there with all the other corporate people. Usually what they're doing is checking you out, seeing how well you can operate in a room with other people. And there's only one reason why you're invited, and that's because they want you either to do something for the business or they want to make you one of them. If you screw up anything, you're done. So for example, if you don't drink, you better drink that night. If you don't smoke, you at least better do the Bill Clinton, right? Like puff, but don't inhale, right? Yeah, because if you don't, you won't get in. You bad, right? And so he said he's never been invited, and I said to him, well, that probably means that you won't make executive. It's the truth, right? It's just how the business world operates. And so if you've never heard about it, but you're in the business world, that tells you a lot. Because other people have already heard about it. All right. Okay, so that's my business talk, at least the truncated version of it. So let's move into why I went into that long discussion about what do people say about you, or what do people say about women, and then what do people say about you, then we got the filter. The reason why I raised that question is because I wanted to see how honest you would be, right? So now everybody's like, I wanted to see how honest you would be, because honesty has got to be the starting point, step one, right? So one thing I often do when I have these conversations, and Jennifer's seen me do this, I'll say, like, who's poor? And nobody raises his or her hand in the room. I'm not. Put your hand down, Jen.
Right?
Count bill. Like slide in the group. Okay. You gotta ask you're poor. If your question is what's poor, that's a pretty good indication you're poor. This is a question that Bill Gates is not asking himself. Yes. Oprah Winfrey's not saying, am I poor? Okay. So the reason why I wanted to see how honest you would be up front is because that tells me also what I can say to you, right? Because if you're open and honest, right, you were like, okay, I put it out there, yes? If you're open and honest, then I can like take this, the constraints that Jennifer often puts on me off and just go for it. But if not, then I have to sort of move us in kind of slowly. And hopefully we can get there. If we can, great. If we can't, no. Okay, so why am I pushing on this question about what do people say about you and honesty? Well, partly to help you. Because look, if you can be honest about what people are saying about you, then you can direct your actions in the future. If you have a filtered interpretation about what, are you checking yourself out in the mirror?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
If you have a filtered interpretation about what people are saying about you, then it's going to be much more difficult to direct your actions in the future because you're not hearing what people are saying. You're hearing what you want to hear. Like Jennifer when we were on the phone and I said,
when we were on the phone and you said, tell them to dress womanly, whatever that interpretation is. That's what you
I
said.
didn't talk like that. I don't even know.
Who would make that up and put that in an email? I don't even sound like me.
The word womanly is in there. Jennifer.
Actually, it
No. No.
So,
Negative.
all right, Jen, I'll take the blame. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, this is something to remember, is encourage you to be brutally honest about yourselves. That is about what people say about you and about how accurate that is. Because when someone says, oh yeah, she's ratchet, it might be the case that you actually are. No? Is that true, right? I mean, now, of course, you don't want to say, okay, I'm the ratchet one, right? I think I like this one. Right? Of Regal, I am the ratchet one. So you gotta have one, right? So you don't want to say that about yourself. I know that. That's true, correct? But let me raise this question. How is it possible to change your behavior if you never say that about yourself, to yourself? Right? You can't possibly redirect your behavior if you're not honest, even to yourself. Does everybody see that? So the first thing to do is be brutally honest with yourselves, because it'll help you change your behavior as you grow and move on and make decisions about where you want to be in the future. But it'll also help you with where you want to go in the future. Because look, often people are sort of indecisive about what they want to do, right? So you'll hear someone say, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and then maybe I'll try this, and then I'll try that. Okay, that's a problem. Because it indicates that you don't know yourself well enough to know what will make you happy and not happy. Right? There are some things that will make you happy and some things that won't make you happy. So for example, I'll use myself. I can't work for a corporation, no matter how much they're paying me, that do things that I think are immoral. I know this because I worked for a corporation, or I worked for a firm that did things that I thought was immoral, so I quit. Right? Independently of how much they were offering or paying me. So I know that much about myself because I'm honest enough with myself to say I'm not going to put myself in that situation because I might end up doing things that I don't want to do, and then in the future I'll be unhappy. Right? That's actually how I ended up as a college professor. Okay? So the brutal honesty with yourselves will help you direct your behavior, right? So that you can become the kind of person you want to be. And it'll help you make decisions about your future so that you don't end up in this job because they're paying you so much money in the middle of Wyoming. Right? Right? Because your life is yours, right? You get to make decisions about it. Yes, who thinks that's right? Your life is yours, you get to make this. Great. Oh, who does not think that's right? I didn't see all the hands. Who does not think it's right?
Oh.
Who thinks it's right?
That's right.
That your life is yours, you get to make decisions about it. Okay, great. Okay, who thinks that's not right? Good. So now we're going to talk about decision making. So the first step of this conversation was about honesty with yourselves for the purpose of changing your behavior and directing you in the way you want to go. That is where you want to go. Some people will say, oh, you should be a doctor. Oh, you should be a lawyer. Well, no. If they want to be, or if they want doctors and lawyers in the family, they should be a doctor or a lawyer. You should be what it is you choose to be. And to be honest with you, I don't care what that is. Right? If your goal is to be a trash man, then fine, be a trash man. Or a rap star, or a basketball player, or an executive, or you name it, whatever it is, that is your goal, that's what you should be. Okay? Is that good? Great, because, again, because your life is your own, and you ultimately have to make decisions about it. Okay. So now we got to talk about decision making. And we have to talk about decision making and making decisions for you. So I'm going to draw a distinction again between decision making, that is you making the decision, and then making decisions for you, somebody else or something else making decisions for you. Okay? All right, so you are in college, right? I need to know about where you are in terms of age. Jennifer told me something.
You don't listen to me.
Okay, I need to know where you are in terms of age. I am assuming you are somewhere between 18 and 21. That's everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay. So you are between 18 and 21. So we'll do a little bit about decision making and making decisions. So, okay, so this is your age. Okay, so at age 0, can you make any decisions? Like this is the first day you're born. Can you make any decisions?
No.
No. People make decisions for you. And that's yes, right? Yes.
3:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking me off the stage already. It's not even 3 o'clock yet.
Give you the time limit. That's all.
Okay. I got this. Okay, age 0. You can't make decisions, people make decisions for you. Is that correct? And, I usually do this baby skit because I like to make fun of babies. I don't know why. But I don't have any, maybe that's why. Maybe it's like a secret, desire to have one. I don't know. But I don't have any babies, so I like to make fun of babies. Or maybe it was because, babies beat me up at one point in my life. I don't know. We're like a gang of babies. Like 25 of them, just jumping on me. Okay. So I do this little baby skit, but I won't do that. I'll do a short version. Essentially, right when you're a baby, they pick you up and they shake you, and they give you to somebody, and that person shakes you, and they give you to somebody else, and that person shakes you.
Yeah.
Right? That's about how it happens. Then you're drooling. That's about how it happens when you're at 0. Yes? They stuff food in your mouth. They spank the back of you. Right? Try to make you throw it up. They shove some more in your mouth. Have you seen how they treat babies?
Exactly what we're doing.
It's a rough life for a baby. Yes? That's about what happens on day 1. Oh, and then they take those pictures, right? They're flashing the camera in your face.
Like a naked.
Yeah, they don't even give you the dignity of the bathtub, right? They put you in the sink and then take a picture of like you're a plate.
Yes,
Okay.
clearly you don't have any kids.
Right. Because people with kids do that, and then this is what they say. Oh, doesn't he look cute? No! I know he's dizzy because you shook him up all day. One eye's pointed up, the other pointed down. Right? And one day, I'm going to say it, I want to see the reaction. Isn't he cute? I'm like, oh, God, that's one ugly man. I'll step back. But look, okay, fine. I'm joking about babies. But you all just called him ignorant, right? Like at age 1, he can't do anything. So you might say, look, that's one ignorant baby. Don't say that, okay? It is true. At least technically speaking, babies are ignorant, right? So they can't do anything. They don't think anything. They don't say anything, that sort of stuff. Yes? Thank goodness that we don't stay that way, right? So, wait a minute, you all say I love kids. And when I said thank goodness we don't stay that way, you're like, Okay, I know, I'm wrong. You can tell everybody that Dr. Small's wrong. Okay, so at age 0, no decision making, people make all of decisions for you, and hopefully they're good ones, yes? By the time you hit 5 years old, they let you make some decisions, right? Yeah. So they might, I don't know, what do 5-year-olds do?
What do you want?
Get everything they can get.
They try to get everything they can, right? So they're running around the house grabbing at stuff, yes?
Yes.
So then you try to figure out a way to let them grab that stuff safely. So you put them in their rooms and say, all right, put your toys in the box or something. And they're grabbing their toys and throwing them in the box. So you gave them something to do, yes? And so you will let a 5-year-old do something like clean his room, and by that you simply mean put your toys in the box, yes? but you won't let a 5-year-old cook right on the stove. No? No, because the whole thing. Did you say why not? Oh, you said, oh no, I thought you said why, because the whole house will be burning down. Okay, so you won't let a 5-year-old cook, but you will let a 5-year-old put his or her toys in the box, yes? Okay. By the time we hit, I don't know, let's call it 16, since we're in the state of Florida, you let kids do a little bit more, yes? Oh, I guess I'm encroaching upon your ages now, right? No, I get nervous, they get nervous. I'm like, I'm 18, and it's coming closer. Okay, so by the time you get to be 16, we allow you to do a little bit more, yes? So school on your own, you can drive a car, you can, get a cell phone, what's that? You can get a job to get you a cell phone. You can date. Yeah, 16 is about the age people say, all right, yeah, you can date. I think. Okay, let's say 16 used to be about the age people say you can date. Right, and then in Spanish community you have the quinceañera, right? But that's like a year earlier.
Yeah.
Right, so that's essentially this sort of thing, right? It says, okay, you've hit the point where we'll start to look at you as if you're a woman, yes? But they don't mean you're a full-fledged woman, yes? But you're like at the door. You can at least walk through the door, but you gotta stand there. You can't go too far. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and then in the state of Florida, we let you drive, and it's all bad. It's bad. Right? Because like 16-year-olds like come clean across the road and cut you off. Right? Okay, so at 16 we let you drive. At 18 we even make it worse. We like let you sign up for the army. We let you vote.
What?
Did we let you smoke cigarettes at 18?
Yeah.
How would I know? Okay. And we let you smoke cigarettes. At 21, and it looks like go see the movie 21 and over.
I heard it's good.
Go see the movie 21 and over, you'll learn some things. It looks like we're going backwards though, right? So we let you drink here, we let you smoke here. Okay, so we give you more power to make decisions about your lives, yes? And then it continues. At age 25, we consider you at least in the scientific community, I'll use the technical phrase, mentally healthy adult human. Yes, that's the technical phrase.
Why are you laughing? I can question that. I'm hearing the giggles like, not all 25-year-olds I know got mentalities.
Not all, no. Generally, the phrase is mentally healthy adult human. I'll tell you what, this is, yes.
Is it 25 when your car insurance goes in? 22.
Is it 25 when your car insurance goes down?
I'm not sure, but I know that you can rent a
Rent a
rental
car.
car
Is that what you're talking about?
without the extra fee. No, you can rent, but they're going to charge. Some won't rent to you, and some will charge you an outrageous fee.
Yes. So why do we call this? This is going to become important. This is the age of full-fledged reason. What it means is that your frontal lobes are fully developed. Yeah. So humans don't develop mentally fully. Yeah, we take a very long time. Like animals have literally died. They grew up, got old, had kids, and old, and we're still growing. Right? Yeah, we take a very long time to grow. Right? So at 25, your frontal lobes are fully developed. And then we give you 10 more years of, this is why we do it this way. We give you 10 more years to sort of mess up in the world and get it right. And at 35, what do we give you? Does anybody know why that's the magic age?
Complain,
We
regret.
let you complain? No. And here you should be finished with children. But what's 35 is? Yeah, some don't. I mean, some will be way out here. Like 55. You can run for president. You cannot run for president of the United States until you're 35 years old.
That's why y'all old.
Trust me, you know what this guy was. Can you imagine George Bush at 18? Oh, no. We would have been at war. Well, we were. So about 18 anyway. Okay, sorry.
Father?
Too soon?
Son.
For those of you who are Republican, right? Just in case. And it's okay to be a Republican sometimes. At age 35, we allow you to run for president. But this age spectrum represents the emergence of reason. And as it emerges, we allow you to make more and more decisions. But when you're on the lower end, we allow others to make more and more decisions for you. What we anticipate is that as you get older, your mind will be developing, you'll become more mature, and you'll take more responsibility for your lives, your behavior, your actions, and so on. So that's how it's supposed to go when you're making decisions for yourselves. But I want to tie in one thing and tie this back to what we had said previously, so that we can have a conversation about whether or not that it's not you, but generally speaking, women of your age are making decisions for themselves or others are making decisions for them. And I want to tie it back in the way you gave it to me up front. So you gave it to me up front by talking about things like having attitude, raunchy, whore, that sort of stuff, yes? Is this a function of a subculture that's going on in America, and I'm going to call it the rap music subculture?
Are you asking if it plays a role in it?
Yes.
I believe it does.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Okay. So what's that? Major role. So are we all in agreement that this subculture of rap music influences people, and here we're talking young women, such that she's like,
Oh, no, I was.
So you're feeling it back?
No.
Such that I would argue that they're not making decisions in this way, but the subculture is influencing them in other ways to make decisions. Are we in agreement there? If we're not, we can do more conversation about it. No, we need no conversation here? Okay. Since we don't need any conversation about it, I'm happy, right? Because we don't have to stop and talk about that. You are in agreement. But if you want just some evidence of it, I would say just listen to a lot of what your music tells you, and then listen to how people act as a result of it, or how they describe themselves. And when it comes to guys, right? I mean, all guys who are somewhere in this age, right? There are ballers, yes, or pimps, or real, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And here's what's worse. This is even true of the men in college. Right? Okay, maybe I can understand, like generally speaking in society where they're not supposed to be getting education, right? They're graduating from high school, they're not getting advanced education. That's one thing. So you might say, well, yeah, I mean, he's like this old, but he's really intellectually developed somewhere around here, right? But then what about the guys who are in college who are still doing the same things, right? They're supposed to be getting education, right? And that education is supposed to have a certain effect on the life of the person who's been educated. So college is not just about stamping and giving you a degree, right? We send you to college at a particular age for reasons, right? We send you to college in between this time, because this is the crucial time in which you become an adult, a man or a woman. Yes? Does everybody see that? That's why we send you to college at that time. So it's not arbitrary. But if you're getting this outside influence where you're really this old, but you're acting like you're about this old, right? You will miss some of the influences that colleges are supposed to have on you. This is one reason for developing colleges as residential centers. So we have colleges, and then we put housing there so that the people are always there. Not so that you can party and have a good time, but because we believe that the school should influence you in a certain way here. Does everybody see that? Okay. So those are the guys, right? And then the way the women go. I mean, I'm afraid that I even say some of it, right? But the women describe themselves in certain ways, right? You all have seen this. What's this?
Oh.
Go ahead and say it.
Well, I know some of the people I know, they listen to this girl named Trina. And she claims herself as the baddest beast.
Yeah. It is not uncommon for women to describe themselves using a big word. Yes? Not you in particular. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm talking about women generally speaking around this age. Yes? Oh, here you go. This will help you out. What about Bad Girls Club?
That is a show to women.
Okay.
It makes me mad every time.
We don't have to talk about bad girls. We can just talk about what's the one from Jersey Shore. What's her name?
Snooki.
There you have it.
Don't talk about that.
I'm not going to talk about Snooki. I'm only indicating to you.
Thank you.
I watched one episode of Bad Girls Club. And I was like,
Are you all fighting about this? I'm only indicating to you that what you see on what's called reality TV is an influence from a subculture that's pushing people to act in these ways. Right? And that's the sort of thing that I suggested to you a bit earlier. Yes? And some of the things, okay, right? Because I've never watched the Jersey Shore, but I've heard about it. In fact, the first time I heard about Snooki, the name Snooki, a U.S. Senator was referring to her. John McCain was referring to her. And so I thought, like, what's a Snooki? And so I Googled Snooki, and then the Jersey Shore came up, and I read some of the stuff about it, and I thought, okay, this is ridiculous. Why is he even talking about her? But at any rate, so on the Jersey Shore, as I understand it, the thing to do is to sort of go out at night, get drunk, have sex with somebody that that's in the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. They
Okay.
just party.
Okay then. Now, does that sound to you like some of the descriptions that rap stars articulate about women? Yeah. Every single rap song on the radio, if it's on like mainstream radio, let me finish. Mainstream radio, right? I'm not from Florida, but I do know 95.3. Yes. Right? Because it's mostly like Lil Wayne and Drake, that sort of thing, right?
Oh, I love. Oh.
And you don't want to look to Drake. Very next phrase I'm saying, and you don't want to look to Drake to tell you how you should act. Because Drake says all kind of wild stuff about women, yes?
Yes.
All of them. They say all kind of stuff about women. Okay. So, I'm pointing that out, right?
Two Chainz.
I know. His name is Titty Boy, so I love him.
It seems like I'm going to have to do some more stuff about rap music. If your name's 2 Chainz, right?
Thank you. Yeah, like, thank you.
No, his original name was Titty Boy. He upgraded.
Downgraded. Water slop is wearing.
Oh my God.
We got to pause. Because they don't know the conceptual frameworks.
No, break that down.
Conceptual frameworks. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
I'm only going to talk. What's that?
No.
I'm only going to talk about women, but I'm going to talk about conceptions of women so that you understand why people are acting this way. You agree with me that they are acting this way, but now I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to make it even further clear that you too are subject to the very same thing. And this explains to me why you can't be honest when I first say, what do people say about you? Look, I'm a black male. What do people say about black males? Just because I got DR before my name doesn't mean that when I'm driving in my car and get pulled over by a cop, he won't do all the things cops do to young black men, right? Of course he will, because when he sees me, he sees Eric Smaw, not Dr. Eric Smaw. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Of course. Right? So if I have a PhD and they say all the best, just from yesterday, I was walking down the street in Winter Park. No, this is serious. Walking down the street in Winter Park at night. And there were 2 older women. They must have been in their 60s. And so I moved to the side to walk by them. The woman closest to me turned around, looked at me, jumped back like that. Right? And I said, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. But there are many different ways to interpret that, yes? And I suspect, had I been a young white male, she would not have jumped that way. I suspect that. Okay, but I realize I might be wrong. Okay? So my only point is, if I'm a college professor, that's the sort of reaction that I get. Certainly people who are not at that level get the very same reaction. So you don't have to lie to me, yes? Because I told you before we started the conversation, I already know this. Yes? So let's get moving. Women. No, we did males and females, right? So let's change this to females. Okay. This is the general conception of men and women, not necessarily you, so I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm talking about what people think or say, at least historically, and I'd argue even today, about the difference between men and women. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody following? Mm-hmm. Great. Rational. Who's more rational between the two? There we have it. There we go. But we got to keep it moving, sorry, right? Males are rational, women are what?
Irrational.
Emotional, right? Yeah. Right? Or certainly less rational. Yes?
Yes.
Of course. Who's over emotional?
Some ones are really emotional.
Yeah, some dudes are very emotional.
Wait, historically.
No, but hold. I won't disagree with you if you say to me, look, there are some men who are over emotional. I'm asking you, generally speaking, how do people categorize men and women?
Yeah.
Yes. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm not talking about you in particular, and I'm not talking about me in particular. Yes?
Yeah.
I'm talking about males and females, generally speaking. And so would you say this is where they put, right, come on, this is like the #1 argument against women becoming president. Because you know the joke, right? Every once a month, we got to worry that she'll hit the button.
Let's move on.
Right?
It's a true statement. That's what they say.
I think it's offensive. I don't think the joke is funny. I think it's offensive.
That's why it is.
You see? Here is, no, watch this. Is beautiful work, Jennifer. I tell you, beautiful work. Look, remember I said to you that I am going to show you that you all are subjected to this too. And I just told you something about that people say about women, and it's absolutely true, yes? Do women also think it's true?
Throw the bomb.
Of course. Yes? Yes? Okay. And of course, the men are moderately emotional, right? Their emotions are moderated. Yes?
There you go. There you go.
All right. Hold up. Come on. Keep the show moving. Emotional. Jim started back a bit over time, but I got to rock and roll with this. Emotional. Let's see. Maybe I should go down that road.
Do it.
All right.
Go.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Emotional. Let's do it like this. Okay. So who should be your leaders? Who should be your leaders?
Based on that.
Based on this.
Of course.
Based on the screen.
Of course. By the way, you do realize we have never had a female president.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And who should be your followers? Who should be subject to the household?
He's asking what is the cultural belief,
Yeah.
not even society.
I'm not saying, I'm not asking what you believe,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about you specifically. As a matter of fact, the ideal family, the quintessential family, is the one where the man makes so much money that his wife can stay home if she wants, yes? And the expectation is she'll have some babies, stay at home, they'll have a nice house, everybody will be happy, yes?
Yes.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, with the man, he should be somewhere in the corporation or something. Yes?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And look into your society, that is America generally speaking, yes? And look at people who are idols in America. Your idol here, for this sort of person, is almost always a president. But somebody who you know, who's sort of rational, moderated in his emotions, I'd say like Donald Trump, right? Because he's the leader of a corporation. He has this show called The Apprentice. You come before him. If you screwed up, he makes a purely rational decision about whether or not you should stay with the company, yes? And what's interesting and what people like about the show is he look you right in your face and say, you're fired, yes? Yes, that's what he's imitating. And on this side, we got a whole bunch of people like this, right? The one I often talk about is somebody like Jessica Simpson, right? Who on her show, the question became whether or not chicken was, or tuna was chicken or fish. Who raises the question whether or not tuna is chicken or fish? And then her husband or whoever said, well, tuna is fish. And she said, then why does it say chicken of the sea on the can? Right? So, but that's most of your celebrities, if not all, right? They're basically pretty and stupid.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Okay. Are women here, around you, in your culture, attempting to be pretty. You told me the thing that people say about you is that you have cute hair. No?
Yes.
I'm listening.
Yes.
I'm listening. Am I listening?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm simply suggesting to you all to be honest with yourselves that you are not immune from the culture in which you live. And the only way you can break out of this, for real, is to be brutally honest with yourselves. You said honestly, right? I know people say this about women. And I sometimes think it too, yes? Right? Of course you do. This is why when you see women, you say things like, she's a hoe, she's a slut, that be, blah, 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 right? Of course you do. Let me put it to you this way. Who do you hear most often using the N-word with respect to black people?
Black people.
Black people.
No? And where do it come from? Mostly in this society today, rap music. You can't get a rap song without the word in it.
I know that should be.
And let's add to it. Not just using the N-word, let's add to it. But it's often about, so you talked about talking down and condescending, yes? It's always derogatory language with respect to black people, yes? And always about killing black people. No? You pick a rapper. Lil Drake, Lil Wayne, yes? That's why I consider all of them a little. Because they're somewhere down here, yes? When their age is somewhere up here, yes? I mean, somebody told me 2 Chainz is like older. Yeah, he's like an idiot. Right?
Yeah. But he added.
2
Chainz. He do it all because of the money. Because they say that he went to college and he got a 1.0 GPA.
That just means he's really an idiot.
Right, for real. Verifies how stupid he really is.
Exactly. Are you telling me that you're brilliant? I went to college, ain't got a 4.0. And the best I can do with my education is call women hoes, sluts, tell you how I'm going to kill black people, so on and so.
Tell them how to smoke weed and drink.
Yeah.
Because remember, I started this conversation off by telling you, I'm honest with myself. And one thing I know about myself is that I won't work for a corporation that will require me to do immoral things. So let me give you an example, because you said they do it for the money. I worked for a firm called Bernard Litford McPherson and Hand. And we handle what we call the overseas private investments accounts. And my area of expertise is international law and human rights. And so my job there was to make sure that they didn't break international law and human rights, which they did all the time. And so we were in Peru, and they wanted to buy the strip. Peru's called the city on the beach. And they wanted to buy the strip of the beach so that they could put hotels on the strip of the beach. So American hotels like Marriott would be moved over to Peru on the coastline of this hotel. But there were these Indians there called the Saturno Indians. And in order to move the Indians, they were just going to force them out. And I said, that's called displacement. It's a human rights violation. And one of the senior partners said, yes, and your job is to keep us from getting in trouble for doing it.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Right? But there are plenty of people who will. Right, and eventually I quit. Right? But there are plenty of people who will. But this connects back to your story about the rappers doing it for the money. Yes? Because my claim is going to be the results of all of their actions are equally bad. Because if you're a young black male, yes, and you're listening to them, you're trying to keep it real, like you think they're keeping it real. Yes? In which case, you know, for young black men, right, you're supposed to be tough, yes, not scared of anything. You carry guns, you might sell drugs, you'll fight anybody, and you're not trying to educate yourself because you ain't afraid to go to jail and all that. You're going to make your living off the streets, yes? And now we have the city of Chicago, which is the murder capital of the world. I understand, right? And of course they mean the city of Chicago in the south side where the black people are. They certainly don't mean the lakefront side of Chicago, right? And so that's the one effect of rap music, right? That young kids internalize it and believe that they're supposed to imitate it, right? Does everybody see that? And it's the same with women. Yes? Yes. Right? So young women are looking to be pretty and dumb. Right? So you can get a baller. No? Yeah. Remember the distinction between making a decision for yourself and allowing someone else to make the decision for you. That's why I'm talking about this today. Yes? Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right? Because you know the story like I know the story. No matter how young and pretty you are, there's always another girl who's younger and prettier. So you can go down that road if you want, but one day you will be old and ugly. No? That's what Donald Trump does, no? He's had like 5 wives. All of them started off at 19. Right? Yeah, he divorced them at 30, right? Yeah, sure, of course. Okay. So, this conceptual framework of CP, what happens is this is covered up by what I call the facade of liberalism. Facade of liberalism. So what do I mean when I say the facade of liberalism? We hide behind things like freedom of speech. Yes? Oh, they have free speech. They can say what they want to say. Or we hide behind things like they're making money and they're doing it for the money. Yes? Or it's art. Yes? And so what's really being translated is this to men and women. Right? And since we're talking about women, this to women. Young women and then older women too. But you can't see it clearly because it's covered up. And there are many ways this gets translated. Sometimes through music, sometimes through television, sometimes through art, sometimes in school, even in churches. Yes? Because you know when you're in church, they're going to tell you the man's the leader of the household. Mm-hmm. Right? You know, I mean, I'm just keeping it real, no? Yeah, of course. Right? So that's how this stuff gets translated in society. You come to believe it's true, and then you direct your actions in accordance with it. Not just that, but you criticize women who don't. Girl, her hair looks awful. Who put on her makeup? She looks like a clown. She needs to go to the gym and lose some weight. Ain't no guy gonna pay her like that. Right? But, am I being honest now? Yeah. Not only have you heard people say it about you, but you say it about others. Am I being honest?
Yeah.
That's of course. Because you've grown up in a society which taught you to do it. Right? Did you see that? So how do you break out? So we're going to get into the breakout discussion. How do you break out? First, you are well on your way because you're attempting to educate yourselves. That's for sure. And you're in here seeking college education, so you're doing the right thing. Step 1, get rid of your TV. Get rid of your TV. And your Netflix. And your iPhone that has the download. Yep, get rid of it. I know you like the show. Get rid of it. No. Unplug it. That's step 1. Step 2, carry it to the trash. Drop it off. It's like, I just got that flat screen. Right? Right? Yeah. Right? But she don't want me to talk about money.
That's a whole other lecture.
About money. Get rid of it. I don't own a TV. Never had. In fact, if you walk into my library, if you walk into my living room, you'll see a library. Library shelves, library text, 2 computers. Yep. That's what's in my living room. A library. Yeah, get rid of it. Because that's the way in which this is being translated to you. Right? So the first thing you want to do is get rid of the mechanisms for transferring this stuff to you. And then the second thing you have to do is deprogram yourselves. Look how, I'll give you an example. Try to take something out of your language. For example, try to stop calling women the B word or men the N word, and watch how difficult it is. You'll find at first, for the first couple of days, it's always on your mind, so you're not doing it. It'll go away from your mind, you'll slip and start calling people bad names, you'll remember that you're trying not to do it. That's how much in a habit you are, how you've been habituated to do it. Or try to do something like not watch TV. You'll go crazy. I can do that. Right? I can watch TV. Or not listen to the radio. Nah, I need my little way. Nah, you ain't taking my reason. Try to get rid of the radio. When you're in your car, keep it off. right? She's like, no. Because look, that stuff is filtering your thoughts. Why not? You need to get in touch with your own thoughts, right? Filter that stuff out. TV, radio, get rid of it. All the other influences. Yes? Get rid of that stuff. And that'll be the first step in to get rid of this. And remember, also being honest with yourselves, right? Second.
I read enough textbooks.
I read textbooks and books and books that I don't need for school. Read, read, read. Every single thing you get your hands on. Read it. Everything. Right? And read it for understanding. Not just to like say, okay, I went through it. Not like that. I mean, read it for understanding. I often tell people when I get married, I'm gonna get a girlfriend. And they say, well, why would you get a girlfriend when you get married? So that when I'm with my wife, I can tell her that I'm going to be with my girlfriend, and when I'm with my girlfriend, I can tell her that I'm going to be with my wife. When really, I'll be reading.
That's a joke.
You get it, Jay.
Your girlfriend is the books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? I'll tell one that I'm with the other that I'm with the one that will free me up so that I can read. Yes.
He wasn't really saying that he was going to be an adulterer.
Thank you for explaining that to me. Right? So read everything you get your hands on, because what you'll find, when I do another lecture for Jennifer's class, what you'll find, this was written about 400 years ago by a guy named John Locke in a book. Yeah, Second Treatise of Civil Government.
Yep.
Yeah, and it suggests that it took time, right, the development about 100 years to get the United States, about another 100 years to get the system of perpetuating this down well, and now it's continually perpetuated and self-perpetuating now, right? So it was conceived of about 100 years ago by Enlightenment philosophers. Not just that, this image of black, same thing. Yeah, it was actually created. Right? Black is not a natural category. So there's no real people. Think about it this way. When you talk about people from Europe, you might say they're British, right? Or French. Or certainly when you talk about people from China, you say they're Chinese, yes? But then when you get to African Americans, right, you say they're black. Because black is a natural category. Right? It's a description, not a natural category. Right? Does everybody see that? Okay. So at any rate, the more you read, the more you'll understand this sort of thing. The other thing you'll understand is this facade and how it works. One way to think about it is political correctness. So people tell you you can't say things, or you can't think things, or you can't engage in certain conversations because those conversations aren't politically correct, yes? But that's the number one thing that's keeping you from being honest with yourselves. Right? You're filtering what you think, what you say, because of a facade of liberalism. And this facade tells you, right, you are free to do whatever it is you want to do. How is that true if this is going to hold you down? Right? Because if you're a woman acting like this, right, let's imagine you're really pretty, you end up with somebody like, I don't know, Donald Trump, yes? Well, once you get old, he's going to dump you and get somebody else, right? Or if you're really acting like this, right, you might end up young and pregnant or that sort of thing, right? Or used up by men. You all told me that yourselves, no? When you say yes, some women act like whores, right? Yes? So this sort of thing, right? So this idea about you'll be free to do what you want to do, really? Of course not, right? Before you even get going in the game, right, that is, before you get here, right? Your brain is already constrained, or your mind is already constrained by this. So in part, the second thing you should learn, right? First, this is a conversation about honesty. Secondly, it's a conversation about empowerment, empowering you to, like Jennifer said, become your real selves. Get out of this sort of thing. And the way you do that, at least one way you do that, is this. Read, read, read. Always, all the time. Right? And then get rid of those filters. Then I submit to you that by the time you get here, you'll be in a position to become a mentally healthy adult human. And you said, I think it was you said like you have to approach your aunt in the way that you want her to approach you, right? But that'll be a comfortable position for you because you already be in a position of being an adult, right? So you can imagine most people don't approach me in a silly way, right? And you can tell that just by looking at me and listening to me, right? Okay, right? That's because I've already gone through this sort of thing, right? So when you see me, you're thinking, okay, yeah, he's got his type, right? Okay, so I'll end the discussion here. Maybe one day I'll come back and talk to you about business attire, or I'll come back and talk to you about money. That's one of my favorite conversations and a crucial one to know about. Or I'll come back and talk about the facade of freedom, because this is just one, the facade of liberalism. I could add the other story on and give you the facade of freedom. But there are other discussions that I could give you, okay? And we'll see what happens in the future if I come back. But if you take away takeaways, first, honest with yourselves. Second, empowerment. How do you do that? Turn off all that stuff, turn and open up the books. Why? Because you're looking to make yourself a certain kind of person when you get to 25. Namely, mentally healthy adult human, or autonomous. Thank you. If you have